All right, everybody. Welcome to another Sports Hype, episode tonight. Now, this is probably one of the most anticipated episodes, in my opinion. We're going to be talking about the NFL, right? We're going to be doing our predictions for each division. We're going to be doing, the AFC, the NFC, picks. We're going to be talking about our Super Bowl picks. And then maybe, who knows, we're going to be talking about some shocking teams that could shock us this year. And then, obviously, we got the big signing by Christian Wood. Going to LA, everyone thinks they're champions already. So we'll talk about that too. So let's get right into it.
Let's just start with the shorter topic. We're going to start with the NBA. Obviously, you just said Christian Wood did sign a 2-year, $5.7 million deal with the Lakers. Player option on the second year. So I, as a Lakers fan, obviously love the signing, and it was much needed, in my opinion, another center who could back up AD or play center with AD at the four on the floor. So what's your guys' thoughts on the signing?
I think it's a good signing. Um, did the Lakers still have Mo Bamba?
No,
No.
Where's Mo at? That's the guy. Y'all
I don't
can
think
try.
Mo got wait, did Mo get signed, Gio?
I can do a little investigating right now.
Okay, while
But
Gio investigates, keep going. Say
since y'all don't have Mo Bamba, it's a good signing. I think Mo Bamba kind of held down your team last year. He was the big reason for your playoff success. But now that he's gone, Christian Woods, he's a good replacement for Mo Bamba and his superstar role that he played. I think Christian Wood could come in, fill in some needs. I think AD is still going to get time at the five this season, but they will be making AD happier by playing the four.
I agree. AD inevitably he's going to have to play the five when these other five sit, but he's not going to play it as much as he has been the past 2 years.
I'm just scared with Christian Wood, AD is going to settle for more threes.
I feel like it's going to be the opposite. Christian Wood's going to be the one shooting the threes because he's 41% on catch and shoot threes.
Hopefully he is, because I need AD decent. AD's best when he's back to the basket.
100%. I agree. Ever since 2020, his shot really fell off outside of mid ranges, but once he goes out to the 3-point line, I get nervous.
Best.
But Gio, any thoughts?
I mean, I'm not reading too much into it. Yes, he's a great offensive threat, with the three ball, as you just mentioned, 41% from three from catch and shoot. Defensively, I really don't think he's there. Obviously, we know what Christian Wood brings to the table defensively. He's not really there. Rebounding wise, he's not really there too. Personally, his best years were when he was on the Pistons trying to prove himself. Then he went down, got the bank, got the bag in Houston, went to Dallas, now he's in LA. Personally, I really don't think this is a great fit. I don't think he gives you that extra player over, say, the Warriors, say the Nuggets, right? Nah, not listen, bro. Listen, you
No,
gotta
I agree. I agree with the
have that
Nuggets.
championship, roster, bro. Yes, I
I
think
think we do.
you're really close. Christian Wood, though, he doesn't make you, that difference maker, right? He's not that difference maker
Oh, I
on that
wasn't
team.
saying he's not the difference maker, but
So why
the
why
other
sign him if he doesn't bring that
because he was the
much
best
to
big.
the
The,
team?
the only reason we signed him because he was the best big available. There was no one else, and we needed a
Dwight
big.
Howard,
He can stay in China.
I mean, Dwight Howard is one of the most dominant big men in the league for the last 2 decades, right? He can still average probably 12 and 15 on any given team.
I think Christian Wood's going to be a better fit than you think.
You already have all the shooting in the world, right? You got
It's
Austin Reeves,
not. It's not going to be just shooting though. I think it's going to be an alley oop threat, a pick and roll threat, pick and pop threat.
but you have all that in Anthony Davis. When Anthony Davis is on the floor, right, and you
Okay,
want him to
but
play the four and Woods at the five,
what happened in the last few years when Anthony Davis got hurt? We didn't have any insurance. Now we do.
okay. So you're expecting Anthony Davis to get hurt. Is that what you're
I
telling me?
mean, I can't deny that he has injury history. Yes.
And you're expecting him not to show up like he did last year in the playoffs, where he showed up every other game.
If we make the playoffs, I expect him to show up every game.
Okay. And he just signed that extension.
Correct.
So for me, it just shows that they believe in Anthony Davis long term, but they don't believe in him enough to give him full reign.
Which I agree with that. And it's solely because of his health history, I
Right.
think.
For me, that's not a top 5 player.
Hey, that's a discussion for another day.
Might not even be top 25.
That's
mean,
crazy.
Shoot, if Anthony Davis was top 75 all time, where was Dwight Howard?
Yeah, no, that list is controversial. I don't agree with that either.
Anthony Davis should not be on that list.
No, many players should not be over many players that weren't.
Right.
Let's just put it that way. But that's another discussion for another day. Moving on to the much anticipated NFL season. Who wants to go first? Whatever division, throw it at me.
Let's do one that no one really cares about.
All right,
Right.
go ahead.
Let's do the NFC West.
Okay.
All right.
You were say it first. Go ahead.
I'm picking the division winner.
You're just, like 1 through 4.
1 through 4
Yeah,
of the NFC West, correct?
correct.
So the teams we got is Arizona, LA, San Fran, and Seattle.
Yep,
There's a clear-cut number 1 team,
I agree.
San Fran.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I'm gonna have LA, a little
Okay.
resurgence. 3, I think Gino takes a step back from last year. I think he's still decent, but I think they fall 3rd, and that leaves the Cardinals being one of the
Right.
worst teams in the league.
Okay, I can see that. Gio?
I agree with his number 4. Obviously, the Cardinals. I'm going to work backwards. Cardinals are going to be at that 4th spot, that last place. Then you're going to go with, I believe, the Seahawks as well. Right. Here's the difference maker for me and Nick. He believes in Brock Purdy. Personally, I don't believe in him for a full season. Yes, he showed out a little bit at the end of the season, just like I believe Nick Foles did with the Eagles back when they won the Super Bowl. But he wasn't a full season quarterback, right? We saw that when he was on the Vikings. So yeah, I do believe the 49ers will be the second just because of their defense. It's one of the best in the league, right? And then for me, it's the Los Angeles Rams. It's Matthew Stafford. He's gonna have a bounce back year. Cooper Kupp, obviously, he's not playing the first week, but he's gonna be healthy again. Hopefully, this defense can show up this year. I think they're gonna be the first in that NFC West division.
Okay.
Brock Purdy is in the
I agree with Saya. I think San Fran will be number 1 solely because of that defense. If and Brock Purdy's going to have a great year too, but that defense is probably the best defense in the league, in my opinion. So that's going to carry them to a division title. And then I'm going to switch it up. I think Seattle is number 2. I believe that Gino will continue to improve because of the weapons they got in the offseason. And then I think it'll be the Rams. And I do agree Arizona is going to be the worst team in the division and one of the worst in the league.
Yeah. I think y'all underrating Brock Purdy though, bro. I think he could be an MVP, sleeper MVP this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Right now, I'm about to get Brock Purdy and play him in every fantasy league I got, bro.
Moving on. All right, Jake, since I picked the last one, we're going to have you pick the next one.
All right. We're going to switch it up. We're going to go to the AFC East. Very controversial for Nick Say over there. This division, in my opinion, is going to be the toughest to predict out of all of them. I believe it's going to be the best division as well. So, Gio, you want to go first?
All right, so this is going to be a tough one. Again, I'm going to start my way, at the bottom and work my way up. We're going to have the Patriots only because they don't have the quality of roster any other team does in the AFC East, right? Obviously, they have Bill Belichick. I still have a lot of respect for Bill Belichick, one of the greatest coaches of all time, if not the greatest coach of all time, right? Bill's going to make it competitive for the Patriots, but he's not going to make it the best team. Then it's going to be a tough tough because 1A, B, and C, right? All three of these teams I'm going to list next could be Super Bowl, contenders. I'm going to have the Buffalo Bills at the third spot. Yes, it's 1A, B, and C, but I got the Bills at the third spot only because we've seen how this team plays, how this, plays out for the Bills. It's just they're not better than the Jets and the Dolphins, in my opinion. The Bills are the same team every single year. These other two teams got better, right? A healthy Dolphins defense, right, for me, is one of the best defenses in the league. So they got to be better than the Bills as well. At the number 2 spot, I'm picking the Jets only because they got a new roster. They still need that chemistry, right? So I think they're going to be better than the Bills because their roster is better than the Bills, right? But they're not better than the Dolphins. At the number 1 spot, you got a healthy Tua Tagovailoa. You got the 2 best receivers in the game, right? You got possibly 3 running backs could be the number 1, running back on that team right now, right? Any one of those running backs, they'll be the number 1 on any other team, hands down. All right. Then you work your way to that defense. You add Jalen Ramsey, who when healthy is one of the best in the league. And then you got your boy. Yes, sir. Xavier Howard, bro. That boy is nasty, right? I really think this is the best defense possibly in the league. Maybe top 3, obviously. Dolphins going to be coming out of that AFC East. Number 1.
I personally agree with all that. That was my thought, to be honest.
Finally!
I thought I was gonna be the one going out on a limb, but Gio said it perfectly.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is probably one of the most debated divisions in the league.
Right.
100%.
And I also believe that was going to be very controversial. But I also have the exact same list.
Let's go, baby! Come on!
Hey, bro, fans, hold us accountable if we're wrong, but if we're right.
I was ready to debate this. I had this whole
Same, bro, so was I.
I was going to talk about Trey Edmonds leaving Buffalo. I was going to talk about their D-line taking a step back, their O-line being garbage. I was going to talk about New York's O-line being trash, Aaron Rodgers not being able to perform behind that. And then the Patriots were clear-cut last in the division.
Yeah. They're just not talented.
And I was going to talk about, even when Tua goes down, we still have a secondary option in Mike White, and Skyler has another year under his belt.
Yes, sir.
I was going to talk about Javon Holland. I was going to talk about Eli Apple stepping in until Jalen Ramsey comes back in December. I was going to talk about Bethel, and I was going to talk about Kohu. I was about to get in my bag for this, but
I'll give you a second chance to talk about something else. Pick a division.
I'm gonna pick the NFC East because I think that's also a toss-up.
That's a toss-up. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
You sir?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go bottom to the top for this one because there's no clear cut.
Right.
Number 1 team or number 2 team in my eyes. Last in the division, I have the Washington Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
They just need a quarterback. And then maybe they can do something. For the 3rd team in that division, someone's going to be a little angry at me in this podcast because that's where I have the Cowboys. I have, for number 2, I think number 2 team takes a step back just because of the hits they took to their defense. And I also think number 1 team's quarterback is going to step up. Even he's going to take another jump. So I have the Eagles number 2, Giants number 1 in that division.
Okay, that's going out on a limb. I did not see that coming, but I like it.
I think Saquon comes out, he balls too. Like,
I like it. Let's
Yeah.
see what happens. Gio, I'll let you go first.
Man, I thought we were gonna agree on something again, but unfortunately we don't. At least we can all agree. Hopefully Washington's, that
Yeah.
fourth team, right?
100%.
Now again, I'm gonna preface before I say this. 1A, B, and C really are so tight, in my opinion. 1, 2, and 3, 1A, C, B, and C. For me, that number 3 spot is gonna be, I hate to say it, say I put them at number 2. I'm gonna have the Eagles. I'm gonna have the Eagles for the same reasons why he put them at number 2, but they're gonna be at number 3 only because that Giants defense is better, right? Their offense, very sleeper pick right now. Darren Waller, probably the best offseason move of the NFL, right? So for me, I gotta have them at number 2, with the Giants being number 2 because of the moves they made and the team that they built off of from last year. The number 1 spot, and I hate to say this, I really do, because I don't want a Cowboys fan to get a bigger head than they already do because they're a Cowboys fan. They think they go into the Super Bowl every single year, even though respectively Jake is pretty honest and he understands, right? So I got the Cowboys at number 1. They got ultimately the top 2 defense in the league, right? Their offense is better when you have a healthy Dak Prescott. That offense is explosive. Oh, and wait, just wait 1 second. Did they just go get Trey Lance because they know that Dak's going to possibly go down this year? So for me, to have that as their fallback, to have a plan and action, shows me they're ready for a Super Bowl, shows me that that's why they're the number 1 team in the NFC East.
I was going to come on here and say Philly was going to go back-to-back division titles. And then Nick said that Miami was going to win his division. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to have confidence in my team.
But it's the reality that Miami Dolphins are the best.
Hey.
In the league, too.
In my opinion, not in the league, in the division. In my opinion, the Cowboys are the best in the division.
Okay.
Now that I look at it.
Okay.
So we will win the division title because there hasn't been a back-to-back division title in the NFC East since, I believe, 2012, something like that. And I think that streak will continue. I do believe Philly will be number 2 still, though, only because of their explosive offense. They didn't lose much on that offense, and I believe Jalen Hurts will continue to ball out and prove some people wrong again, and maybe even get back to the Super Bowl. We'll have to wait and see. I believe that the Giants will stick to number 3 because I think Darren Waller is more injury prone. I don't think he's going to be able to play a full season, and but fully believe in the other Giants wide receivers to fill in for that spot when he does inevitably get hurt. And then obviously the Washington Commanders, because they have a great defense, but like Nick said, their offense just isn't up to par with the rest of the teams in that division.
One thing I'll say about the Cowboys, though, I have them number 3 in their division because I think the Trey Lance move, it's time to move on from Dak Prescott, and they're gonna let Trey play. And he's going to have some growing pains, and they're going to be 3rd in the division.
Moving on.
Talk to me when Dak gets a contract.
I'll talk to you when he gets benched week 3.
That's funny. He'll be one of the best quarterbacks then. But moving on, like Gio said, back to Gio picking a division. Go ahead, Gio.
What about you? You didn't pick a division yet, did you?
Yeah, I did. I picked the AFC East.
Oh, perfect. All right, let's go. All right, let's pick one real quick. Let's do that. To me, going to be one of the best ones. It's got to be for the race, the NFC North. Personally,
okay.
I'm not sure because there's a lot of question marks on all these teams, right?
Yeah, there is.
For me, number 4 is going to be the Bears. Unfortunately, right? Even though they're making some moves, they don't have any defense, as we know from last year. They're moving forward, trying to build up for the future, right, with their picks and everything like that. I really think that the Bears are going to be number 4. And number 3, I got to say the Packers because their defense, right, showed out a little bit last year. I do believe that their defense is going to carry them a little bit more this year. And now that all the controversy is gone with Aaron Rodgers, I think Jordan Love can step up to the plate, and hopefully that offense can start rolling. Maybe not as much as any other team, but their offense is it's going to start clicking. And obviously, I think they're going to start winning games. They're going to be the third spot. Number 2 is hard for me. It's going to be between the Lions and the Vikings, right? I got the Lions only because I think the Vikings have, obviously their star-studded offense, right? And that's the only reason why I got them at number 1. But the Lions are a great team. They've made a lot of great picks this offseason, right? And in the draft. I think their defense got a lot better. Their offense is obviously their offense. I think that, my guy, right? We all know my guy. So I do believe that him and St. Brown, they're going to be great. St. Brown is one of the most versatile, receivers in the league. So I do believe that they're going to be the number 2, and then the Vikings, obviously, because of their offense, number 1.
Jake, would you like to go next, or would you like me?
You can go.
So coming in at number 4 in the division, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to have the Packers here.
Yeah.
I feel like the offense took a lot of hits in terms of their wide receiver play. They still don't have a lot. All they really have is like Christian. Is Christian that wide receiver?
Yep.
Christian Watson, yeah.
Watson, there you go. Jordan Love's gonna have growing pains. I think he'll be good for his first year starting, but I don't see him having a hot start. Third in the division, I'm gonna put Chicago.
Okay, so
I think Justin Fields is enough. They have DJ Moore. I think Will Anderson was the best draft pick in that draft. So I think they did phenomenal in that draft. I think that puts them up to 3. Number 2, I have the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm liking where this. I'm liking where this is going.
I think the Minnesota Vikings took a hit in terms of losing Dalvin Cook, who was a very viable running back, who was kind of took the pressure off of Kirk.
Right.
And Madison, their backup running back, right?
Yeah.
He's like a good player. I feel like he's more of a fill-in good player than he is a starting, like, elite rusher.
I feel that.
So I don't know if Justin Jefferson's still going to ball out. That's a given. But they also lost Adam Thielen, the Robin, to Justin Jefferson. So I can see the offense slowing down a little bit. And then that defense wasn't really all that. And they lost Eric Kendricks and one other player. So I can see them having a little decline. And that's just the perfect opportunity for the Detroit Lions and Amon-Ra St. Brown to step up. And the rest of that Detroit team, who already has a really good defense, Aiden Hutchinson coming into his second year. They brought in CJ from the Eagles, the DB.
Oh, yeah, Gardner Johnson.
So I think that was a good pickup. And then they were just so hot last year. I think they just roll through and they win their division.
Okay, I like that. I agree. I do believe Green Bay will be the last in the division solely because of Jordan Love, and it's his first year really starting all games, and he's going to have growing pains. I'm not sure how great he will be, but no matter how good he is, they don't have enough weapons to be that great in the division, in my opinion. And I do agree. I do believe the Bears will be number 3 because of DJ Moore. I believe that was a great addition by them. It's not going to be enough to get them to number 2 or number 1, though. They need more on the outside for Justin Fields. I think the Lions will be number 2, just like Gio, only because I believe Kirk Cousins is just a little bit better than Jared Goff, but not by a lot. They're both middle of the pack. So Kirk Cousins is a little bit over him, and that's why I believe the Minnesota Vikings will be the division titles.
Honestly, though, I think
Jared
Jared
Goff.
Goff gets carried.
By the defense.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Defense and the weapons he has.
whoa.
Because like Jared Goff is like a top 30 quarterback,
Yeah, he's
maybe
not.
32. But Amon's
Yeah,
like Brown.
but
Yeah,
Jared Goff has to
Debo.
Jared Goff has to be reliable to get him those touches though. I think Cousins will be more reliable than Jared Goff.
Kirky's more reliable, but I think Dan Campbell's a better coach in terms of finding different ways for Amon to get the ball. Last year,
True.
Amon played kind of a Debo role, just not to the same extent of being a running back.
True.
So I think,
I won't be surprised if the Lions win division. I just think that quarterback wise, I got to pick the Vikings for now.
oh, Kirk's way above Jared Goff. Jared Goff's the fourth best quarterback in this division, and I haven't seen Jordan Love play yet.
Moving on. I can't even get started with my boy Jared Goff. We already know what I think about him, but
Hey, we already had that
we got to
argument.
keep moving on.
That argument's in the past. We already had that.
I mean, Kirk Cousins got JJ. Come on now.
Yeah, and he's still better than Jared Goff. But moving on,
Yeah.
we're gonna go. Gio's gonna like this one. We're gonna go to the AFC North. Saya, I'll give you the floor first.
So starting from the bottom, there's a team I really don't want to put on the bottom right now. I think they have a lot of promise in their future. It's going to be the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Number 3. This might be a hot take, but I'm going to put the Ravens, number 3.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
The second team I could see sliding into the wild card round of the playoffs this year. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Kenny Pickett takes a big step. I think George Pickens becomes the top 8 wide receiver in the league this year. And that defense, when healthy, is extremely good. And then I have the Bengals number 1 because you can't count out the best wide receiver court in the entire league with a top 2 quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that. Bengals are definitely number 1. I have high hopes for the Ravens though. I think they're going to be number 2. I think the Steelers will be number 3 and the Browns will be number 4. I believe Kenny Pickett will take big steps, but for me personally, I just think the Ravens will be better than you guys expect.
I mean, after they signed OBJ, it's all Ravens.
That's not why, bro. That's not why they're going to be
signed
number
a
2.
man in a wheelchair, bro.
No,
He's about to be the best wide receiver in the league.
Without him last year, they were still number 2. Explain that.
I mean, come on. I do believe right now there's gonna be some issues with the Ravens. There always is.
There is, but they still find a way to be first or second in the division.
Yeah, well,
the only time the issues show up is playoffs.
Right. I'm gonna go quick. We all know mine.
Right.
Number 4 has got to be the Browns. Watson, he's good and all. Chubb, he's good and all. That defense, Garrett's amazing, one of the best defensive players in the league. They just don't got enough. All right.
Denzel Ward, give him his flowers.
What?
Denzel Ward his flowers.
Him, and don't forget about my boy Amari Cooper. I love that man too. So they're number 4. They don't got enough, right? Especially coaching wise in that division. Number 3, it's gonna be the Ravens. Personally, I don't see what y'all see. I also see 2 great star-studded rosters right ahead of them. Star-studded. Yeah, you laugh. They're star-studded.
No, bro. I'm not gonna say it.
All right. Number 2.
I don't know if Steelers are star-studded receivers, but go on.
Star-studded Deontay Johnson and Georgie Pickens.
Deontay Johnson's not a star-stud.
All right, you'll see. So number 2 is going to be the Steelers, only because, yes, they have the best defense in the league, in my opinion. Top 3. We can all, disagree on that because we all got top 3 defenses in the league. All right, so their defense. Yes, I'm a believer now. I'm a believer. Kenny Pickett's the big ticket. Watching preseason, watching him go through the motions like that, he's playing different. And I'm loving it. George Pickens, the catches he has made. He's not the fastest guy, right? But his hands are the best, arguably the best in the league. He can make one of the toughest catches out of anybody. Same with, Justin Jefferson, right? George Pickens is that guy. Deontay Johnson is another great wide receiver, right? He's one of the fastest in the league too. Not faster than Reek, but he's still fast, right? Then we got Najee Harris working for that money this year. He's working for that bag, right? He's out to prove something, prove that these running backs deserve that bag. So he's out there working too. Then we go ahead and bring in that star-studded defense. We just added that kid. Who was it? From the kid from Wisconsin, Nirbig or here? What's his name?
I don't even know.
Yeah, so he's star-studded. I know what he's playing right on the opposite side of T.J. Watt, the best defensive player in the league right now. We got Michael Fitzpatrick, right? We got all those guys still, right? But you can't go past, like Saya said, the star-studded offense and Joe Breezy out in Cincinnati. I hate to say it, but they will be a top team in the AFC once again. Second team, best team in the AFC once again.
Uh,
But yeah, man, George Pickens, he's just menacing. So you gotta expect a menacing season, probably.
He's a bulldog, bro. He straight goes through people. He's a tank.
Like Lamar is gonna be running on that Steelers sideline. He's gonna get pushed out of bounds or like fall out of bounds. And then George Pickens is gonna come running over with a water bottle. Pause. Just squirting all over him. Getting that boy all wet.
Hey.
And it's
All
gonna
I
slow
know
Lamar down.
is y'all made me a believer in Kenny Pickett. That's all I know.
Take a
Uh,
take a big
talk.
step.
okay. Yeah, we did. Hey man, it only took a year for us to make you believers.
Hey, it was. But who was the kid? Yeah, Nick Herbig. He's nasty on the opposite side of TJ.
Yeah,
What's his
I
name
like
again?
that. I like that pick by you guys.
Mhm.
What'd you say, Saya?
What's his name again?
Nick Herbig.
Okay.
Herbig? Yeah.
I just didn't like hear it right the first time. So I had to hear it again.
Yeah, Nick, like your name, Nick, and then
Yeah.
Herbig.
All right. After a little intermission, we're back in business. We're gonna start with the AFC South. Whoever wants to go first, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that be on you, sir.
I mean, you're giving me the stars, treatment, for this AFC South. Probably one of the worst divisions in the league, let's be honest. So let's go right ahead. We're gonna have the Texans at number 4. We're gonna have the Colts at number 3. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor's not playing as of right now, so that's really the main, contributor of their offense. That's why they're number 3. They still got an okay, team, but we'll see what happens. Colts at number 3. Then it's going to be the Titans. Yes, they still have, who's that quarterback?
Tannehill. Oh no, the other. Are you talking
Tannehill?
about Ryan Tannehill or someone
Yeah, Ryan.
else?
Yeah, so they still got Tannehill. For some reason, I had Hasselbeck in my head. Yeah,
Oh.
they got Tannehill. They got Tannehill as quarterback. Derrick Henry, obviously the best running back in the league, in my opinion. One of the top 2 running backs in the league. Then you obviously have DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best wide receivers in the league, still, putting up numbers at age 33, I believe. So he's still there. Titans are there. They're not the best team, though. You know why? Because Trevor Lawrence and them boys in Jacksonville. Travis Etienne, right? You got great players out there in Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is going to be the number 1 team in the AFC South, but that's just me.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think this division's kind of self-explanatory. The Texans are the least skilled division, although I do like the moves with CJ Stroud. I think he could be nice. The third in the division, Yes, sir. I have the Colts as well. I think they have a nice team, but no Jonathan Taylor kind of steps them back, and that's why I have the Titans number two
Mhm.
because they have when King Henry's still there, they're good
Mhm.
enough to be at least two in that division with the skill set of that division. Um, D Hop's a good addition if he can stay healthy. Tannehill, I don't believe in at quarterback. I think he's going to get replaced by Will Levis at maximum 8 weeks into the year. Um, and I think King Henry is going to be able to keep them afloat at number two. And the Jaguars are number one. Same team as last year, except Calvin Ridley's on that team, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And he gets to play this year, so I think
Yep.
that's
Yep.
another step for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that. All those statements. I mean, they added Calvin Ridley back, and they were, I believe, number two in the division last year, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken. And now they got Calvin Ridley. That's going to put them over Tennessee, in my opinion. As you stated, I also agree. Tannehill, not a big believer in him. I wasn't shocked to see them draft a quarterback, and I won't be shocked to see Tannehill replaced either because of injury or just because of poor play. One or the other is going to inevitably happen. He gets hurt every year, and he also seems to play poor every other game at least. So that's why they'll be number two. Their defense is the only reason I have them at number two, though. Their defense is one of the best in the leagues, and that's what really keeps them afloat every year, along with obviously Derrick Henry, a workhorse in his own right. You just have to hand it to him 20 times. He's going to get 150 yards to 2 touchdowns, and that's another thing that keeps him afloat. And then obviously two rookies in the bottom half. Anthony Richardson, I'm really interested to see how he does, but I agree. No Jonathan Taylor really hurts that team, so he'll be number three and with the Colts. And then obviously CJ Stroud is going to be a good quarterback. It's just he has absolutely no weapons in Houston outside of Robert Woods, and he's like for almost 35. So it's not going to be enough, and that's why they will be last in the division.
Let's go. That's the second division we all agreed on. Let's give ourselves, a clap real quick. All right.
All right. Who wants to pick between the last two?
Joe, I'm gonna leave that on to you, sir.
Well, let's do the NFC South.
All right. Another boring division.
Yep. Hey, don't worry. We got an exciting division for last.
That is true. What y'all want to do?
You can start off this poor division because I had to start off that last poor division.
Okay. Sounds good, Gio. Obviously, this division is probably has the worst quarterbacks in the entire divisions, if we're being honest. The best quarterback in this division is Derek Carr, and even then he is mediocre at best. So it's going to be very interesting. Honestly, I'm gonna have to put New Orleans number one just because of the weapons they have there and the defense. I believe they will be the best team in the division. I mean, I can't put Carolina or Atlanta number two, so I'm gonna have to go Tampa Bay number two. But honestly, this division's honestly the worst division in the league, in my opinion. So it's not gonna matter where they end because only one team is going to make the playoffs out of this division, and that will be the division winner. So we'll see what happens there. I believe Atlanta will be better than Carolina just because I'm not sure how Bryce Young will fare as a rookie. They do have a lot of weapons for him, but that Carolina defense also isn't that great. So that's why I'll have Carolina number four and Atlanta number three.
Gio, I'm gonna let you go next, sir.
So this division is a toss up. Excuse me. This division's a toss up. So really at number four, you can either go with the Falcons or the Panthers. In my opinion, I'm gonna pick the Falcons at number four just because of how great, this might be, biased because I do believe, Bryce Young is gonna be a great quarterback in this league one day. He's still able to, throw the ball, sling that ball right, even with the short amount of time he gets because of that terrible offensive line. We've seen him, sling that ball in the preseason at least. So I do have Carolina at number three over the Falcons. Now, this might shock you guys. This might shock you. Derek Carr or Baker Mayfield. Derek Carr is worse than Baker Mayfield, in my opinion. I'm going to put the Saints at number 2. Yes, they got my guy. They got Chris Olave, right? Ohio State, one of the best. He's going to make his name this year. But really, you have the same Buccaneers team as last year, practically, right? You still got Chris Godwin.
Yeah, but with a below average quarterback this time.
No, please.
Below average. Below average.
Mike Evans. Chris Godwin.
Okay, it doesn't matter if the quarterback can't get them the ball. It's that simple.
They have a new center, obviously. Baker Mayfield was a Heisman Trophy winner for a reason.
Washed.
He's in a new spot.
Washed.
In Tampa. He's going to shock you. He's going to
washed.
Watch, he hasn't even had a career yet. How can he be? I'm telling you right now.
He had a great few years.
Is why. He's all clean now. He's all clean. He's in a new spot, right? He's in Tampa. He's next to the water, right? He can clean himself any day of the week. He can be washed anytime he wants. Anytime he wants. Baker Mayfield will bring this terrible team above all the rest of these terrible teams and win the division of the NFC South.
I believe Baker Mayfield will get benched by halfway through the season.
Hey, he's got a new team. He's got a new coach. I love it. Baker Mayfield will prove you wrong.
What is it with you and mediocre quarterbacks? I don't understand. All right, Saya, go ahead.
So, 4th in this division, I have the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
CJ Stroud could be nice, but growing pains and very lackluster team.
You just said CJ Stroud? Did you mean Bryce Young?
I'm not Bryce Young, but it happens. I think Carolina comes in 3rd in the division. I think their running back game is a lot better than the Falcons will be. The number 2 team, I have the Saints as well. I think Derek Carr is very on or off quarterback for every single game.
Yep.
Alvin Kamara's got a suspension for the first couple of games. I think that'll send him back. And then I also really, really like the weapons around Baker Mayfield. I think
he beat them.
I think he's the below average quarterback with a decent defense behind him.
That's right.
With phenomenal weapons around him.
That's right. Which will elevate his game.
Subpar.
That's right. Yeah, he's going to look good. He ain't going to look great.
He's going to look mediocre because of the elite weapons in Chris Godwin and Mike Evans.
We'll wait and see. We'll come back to this. I'm just not a Mayfield believer. That's just me, though.
Derek Carr could win the division if he feeds Jarvis Landry 14 times a game.
I think you mean Chris Olave, but yeah. Moving on to one of, if not the most exciting divisions in the league, the AFC West. Nick, we'll let you start with this one.
So this is a very fun division. I feel like these 4 teams could also be unpredictable.
For sure.
Except for the bottom feeder team, which is ran by probably the worst starting quarterback in the entire league. We all know where this is going. I truly believe there's at least 7 backup quarterbacks that deserve the starting job over him. I think he's the top 45 quarterback in the league. But nowhere above, there's in no world should he be a starting quarterback anymore. In case you guys have not been, right? Yeah. Are you talking about Russell Wilson? Patrick Mahomes, of course.
All right. We know where this is going.
The Raiders are going to be on the bottom. I think Josh Jacobs is really good, but they lost Darryl Wally. And then they just got an even worse quarterback running their offense. So they're just bottom feeders.
Not wrong.
3rd in the division, I have the Broncos. I think Russ comes back to mediocrity instead of being bad. but I also don't think they have weapons around him to be necessarily good. Like they have Jerry Judy, they have Cortland Sutton,
But Judy's always hurt
and they don't have a number one wide receiver on that team. Like I
outside of
see those
Judy.
guys. Huh?
Outside of Judy, but like he's never healthy.
I don't think he's number one receiver when healthy. I think his ideal spot is the two.
Yeah, probably.
Um, but then I got the Kansas City Chiefs number two, and the Chargers number one this year.
Okay.
I know you're not supposed to doubt Patrick Mahomes and whatever, but Travis Kelce's out week one. Chris Jones still hasn't reported back to the team yet. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he said they said before this game that he's willing to wait up until week 8. So
So not having your best defensive player could be a big, big factor.
yeah.
And I just like the Chargers so much more. Honestly, like Mike Williams is going to step up big this year. I think Keenan Allen's going to have a step up from last season, but still be the wide receiver too. And I just have her being like second in MVP voting.
All right. Gio, go ahead.
This is gonna surprise you guys, but we all agree. You know, the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, they're gonna be number 4.
Mhm.
They're still a good team, better than any team in the AFC South and NFC South, but they're still the bottom of this division. Number 3, this is gonna shock you guys. You guys sitting down for this one? It's gonna be the Chargers. Only because of health. Only because their health is questionable. Yes, Herbert plays, but their defensive health, right? Yes, they have one of the greatest defenses in the league. But are they always healthy? No, they're not. And that's what makes me question them is their health. That's why they're number 3. Number 2, I can't believe I'm disrespecting the defending champions like this. But for all the points that you just made, Nick, I'm making it here. Jones isn't playing their best defensive player, just like with any other great defense. If your best player is not playing, it's not going to, withhold, and it's not going to be as great as it is. So that's why they're, going to be down. Travis Kelce's health. He's older. What's going to happen with him throughout the year? I'm not too sure. We all know Patrick Mahomes is going to be there. Pacheco is going to be there. But how much is Patrick Mahomes' greatness going to take them this year? I don't think it's going to be over the Denver Broncos. Yes, I said it. The Denver Broncos will be the number 1 team in this division. Sean Payton's there. It's a new culture. He's putting Russ into his place. I think y'all are disrespecting Russ, right? Isn't he a 2-time Super Bowl appearance? He's a 1-time Super Bowl champion. All right.
Yeah, you get me beast mode, and I'm going to the Super Bowl too, and the
Yeah,
Legion
exactly. Exactly.
So what I'm saying right now is he had something to do with it, right? He
He choked one away, yeah.
No, that's Pete Carroll's mistake. Pete even admitted that he believed in that play.
Okay.
I don't believe when you got Marshawn Lynch, you're running that ball. All right. Pete just made the wrong play. All right. Anyways, I do believe they have enough offensive weapons to be really solid. I do believe the coach makes everything as in any other sport. Sean Payton's one of the best coaches in the league right now. And I do believe the Denver Broncos will lead them for a division, to be division champions.
No, I learned my lesson last year. I doubted Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going to do that again. They will be division leaders, division winners. He had no one last year either, and he still won the division with the Super Bowl.
A healthy Travis and a great defense.
Travis will be healthy after this week. I'm not worried about that. I also believe the Chargers will be number 2, like Nick said. Herbert is the second best quarterback in this division, behind obviously Patrick Mahomes, but they also have a great defense and a better defense than the Chiefs. So I won't be surprised if the Chargers win the division over the Chiefs because of their defense, especially like you said with Chris Jones out for who knows how long. But I just can't doubt Patrick Mahomes. So I'm gonna go Chiefs 1, Chargers 2, Broncos will be 3rd. I do believe Russell will take a step forward this year. but I just believe that the other two teams are a lot more talented than the Broncos are. So that's why I have them third. And then obviously Jimmy Garoppolo is just going to hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs and they'll be fourth in the division.
I don't want to count the Chiefs out because I know somehow they're still going to be in the AFC Championship at the end of the year. But like, bro, I just need something to switch up. I can't go safe with the Chiefs on top every year. You feel me?
That's why I switched it up last year. Didn't go well though.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be shocked when I do this right now.
All right, go for it. Super Bowl prediction, go.
For me right now,
Yes.
Super Bowl prediction. I'm gonna go NFC Championship game first, and then AFC
Okay.
Championship game, and then Super Bowl.
All right.
NFC Championship game. I'm gonna have the Dallas Cowboys versus. This is gonna be a tough one, but I'm gonna have to say the 49ers. They have, like you said, one of the best defenses. I do believe it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys versus the 49ers. Now, the AFC is going to be different. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Either it's going to be the Bengals or the Steelers versus a wild card in the Kansas City Chiefs. At that time, they will have Jones back because it will pass 8 weeks, right? At that time, they're going to have a healthy Travis Kelce, and their weapons will be developed even further, right? And you can't doubt Patrick Mahomes. That's why he's going to be in the AFC Championship game no matter what. If it's the Bengals, I got the Bengals going to the Super Bowl this year, right? Getting their revenge on the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's going to be, for me, Kansas City versus, I can't believe I'm saying this right now, the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, I'm sorry. Choking up right here. I can't believe I just said that. Dallas Cowboys versus the Bengals. It's crazy. But
Did you say versus the Bengals or versus the Chiefs? You said versus the Chiefs
my
before.
bad. No, Bengals. If the Bengals are in the AFC Championship game, they're gonna win it. Either
Okay.
way, the Chiefs are gonna be in it. But if it's
right.
Say Chiefs versus Steelers, Chiefs win out. But really, I think it's gonna be the Bengals. Personally, they're gonna get the revenge this year. Bengals are gonna be finally. Joe Breezy is gonna finally be a Super Bowl champion.
Hey man, I'll take it. If we make the Super Bowl and lose, I'll be fine.
Jake, what's your prediction, sir? I like the championship rounds into the Super Bowl.
You know, I do agree that the Cowboys will take a step forward and make the NFC Championship. I was going to say that we were going to win the Super Bowl, but
I mean, just like any other year, right?
No, I've never said that in my life.
No, not.
I
But
know what we do.
I'm saying collectively, Cowboys fans.
Yeah, Cowboys fans. Yeah, me though, I know what we do. But we will make the NFC Championship game. Cool. I'm not going to go as far as Super Bowl yet.
Okay,
we'll see. We'll see. Who we play is going to be very tough. I honestly think that Philadelphia will get back to the NFC Championship game. So I say it's going to be a rivalry week, Cowboys versus Eagles for the NFC Championship game. And then AFC, I agree. It's going to be the Chiefs, and I believe the Bengals will also make it. I believe the Bengals will beat the Chiefs this time as well. And I hate to say it, but I believe the Philadelphia Eagles will beat the Cowboys. Really? Because I just personally really like the Eagles. As much as I hate to say it, they did get better, in my opinion, through the draft and through free agency. And they were 3 points away from winning a Super Bowl last year. Right. So I believe they'll get back to that position, and I believe that they will win the Super Bowl this year, defeating the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wow. Now, I can't wait for this one. This is probably going to be the best prediction of my lifetime. So,
you know, I'm just going to say that he's going to pick the Dolphins because I just have a feeling.
Get the popcorn ready, guys. Get the popcorn ready.
I'm tempted to throw the Cardinals in there this year, you know.
He's tempted to say Cardinals Chargers again.
Bro, so from the NFC side, I see the championship game being the San Fran 49ers
Okay.
versus Jake. I'm sorry, it's a divisional rival, but they're just a very good football team, I think. And I think they're just going to be very, very good this year. So it's going to be 49ers Giants in the
Wow.
NFC championship game. And
That's
I have New York winning that.
that's a stretch. Wow.
Wow. I like it. I like it because it's
I do,
possible.
but it's not anything's possible. It's NFL.
Well, I
And
mean, the Giants is realistic. Like that can happen.
I
you just
mean,
need
They're close last year.
it's just I
Danny
just
Downs
don't
beat the number one or
I
two
don't
team
believe
last year,
I just don't believe
and
in Daniel
the
Jones.
Vikings.
I don't believe in him come
And
playoffs
who?
personally. I don't believe
Danny
in Danny
Downs is him,
Dimes.
bro.
We'll
Okay.
see.
But AFC wise,
Ooh.
I think there's a lot of good candidates to be in this game. You know, you got Kansas City, you got Cincinnati, you got Miami, you got Buffalo, New York, you got the Jaguars, Chargers. I think there's a lot of teams that could be up here.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think it's going to be Dolphins, Chiefs. And I think Miami wins that game.
I mean, we didn't see that happening.
So it's a Miami New York Super Bowl, and we're just gonna say Miami wins, correct?
See, I do think Miami wins that game, but I would not be shocked if New York won. Whenever New York has no chance of winning the Super Bowl, it seems,
They win it.
they somehow come out and just cook.
Like when they beat Tom Brady twice.
Yeah, like you have like that's like a giant staple piece. You count them out at the beginning of the season, and somehow they hold the trophy at the end of the year.
That is very true. I like that. Nick Saban, he's trying to make a revenge statement after last year didn't go so well. We'll see what happens this year. It might happen.
I think I got it, bro. Miami's holding that Lombardi trophy at the end of the year.
I mean, you can only say the same thing, right? So many years in a row.
Eventually,
Hey,
it'll
man.
be true.
Hey,
I mean,
man,
wait. Two is MVP this year, though, right?
Oh, easily,
All
easily.
Hey, man, Cowboys fans been saying this for 26 years. I still haven't seen it happen.
Hey
right.
man, when you got MVP Tua Tagovailoa, anything can happen.
True.
That is true. That is true.
And
Unless he
then
gets
second in MVP voting.
unless he gets a concussion, but yeah,
Hey, that's my MVP though. And then Herb's gonna be second in MVP.
hey, your MVP doesn't have an O line.
And then Trey Lance is gonna be third.
Dak Prescott, okay,
Dak's gonna get benched after week 3.
you're funny. We'll come back to this halfway through the season when Dak is balling.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
But Gio, you got a segment?
I do. Real quick, I just want to talk about the U.S. Open. That's closing out this weekend. We still got 3 Americans left in the semifinals. Right now, we got Ben Shelton in the men's, right? I believe he's got to go against, I think, Novak Djokovic. I'm pretty sure, so I'm not confident on that answer. But Ben Shelton's in the semis. Wonderful for him. Great young kid. He's got a lot of confidence right now. He's really hot in tennis game. So hopefully he can go ahead and get that championship. U.S. Open championships. Then in the women's side, that gets real interesting. We got Coco Gauff in the semifinals, right? And then on the other side, we got Madison Keys. So if they both win out the semifinals games, we got an All-American, championship game for the U.S. Open, which would be remarkable and great to see. I don't remember the last time we saw that, but I do want to say it was possibly Serena and Venus, possibly. I'm not sure when we saw an American versus an American, but that would be an amazing, to watch as well. So we got a lot of Americans left in the game still. Hopefully they can, bring us home and win one for the U.S.
For sure. Video game wise, NBA 2K24 is dropping tonight
Let's go!
at midnight. If you pre-ordered it, you can play it at midnight. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I don't know about y'all, but I'll be up till 3 a.m. playing that. I'm very excited. I've seen some very interesting things. It looks like they updated the animations, so very excited to see what they did to change the game. and hopefully they made it better. And if you're a 2K fan, definitely go get that game.
In the music world, there's a lot of people I can shout out, but someone's dropping tonight 4 songs. I know at least 2 of them have already been released and deleted, but still looking forward to it being officially released again. Rapper XXX Tentacion is dropping 4 songs. Just a heads up, some of them are going to be very emotional and tough to listen to. But yeah, I'm excited for those 4 to drop again.
All right. Thank you all for watching. If you didn't agree with anything or agreed with something, let us know in the comments and we'll get back to y'all. Peace.
Peace. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed or agreed with us on anything like Miami winning the Super Bowl, you can drop a like.
Okay.
Or any other things we said, you can drop a like if you want. If you disagree with us, like the Cowboys making the Super Bowl, you can drop a comment and let us know that we're tripping. But yeah, just make sure to GA.
Hey guys, you already know, like 3 wise men once said, subscribe. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.